What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on Spider-Man Far From Home. So it is the 3rd of July. So by now you guys should have watched the Spider-Man Far From Home movie, so we can speak freely about this movie because there's something that is really bothering me that we're going to go over in this video. So if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the videos. We are currently giving away either a Captain Marvel Blu-ray, DVD, if you still use that format, or the 4K HD Ultra. All you gotta do is subscribe to the channel, let me know down below why you should win. So let's get into this video. So careful spoilers if you haven't seen Spider-Man Far From Home, but you probably have seen it. We've got a non-spoiler review and a spoiler review on this channel. I will link them down below and put a card over the top of this video somewhere. So let's get into this. So there is something pretty big that I want to talk about, and I've been talking about it for a while, and we already know it's true because I've been told by multiple sources that it was supposed to be in this movie, but for some reason it was pulled. But then I'm reading things from the director, Jon Watts, that it wasn't supposed to be in the movie, so it's very ambiguous, it's very random, and it's hard to kind of figure out if it was supposed to be a movie. So in an interview with the director, he said this. First off, we heard several rumors regarding the possibility of the formation, or at least the lead up to the formation of the Sinister Six. So this is the interview at generally saying what they went over before they got to the question with the director. The evil supergroup is something fans have wanted for such a long time, but they're going to have to sit down for a little longer. During a recent interview, Jon Watts revealed they weren't even discussed for this movie. Here's what Jon Watts had to say. We never talked about that for this film. It's just a question of what is best for the story we're telling. Hopefully, the best idea always wins. But what's exciting about working with Marvel is that you feel like every idea is always on the table. Now, this is really weird for me because I've been talking to a lot of insiders, and everyone anyone has heard there was a part of the movie that was going to lead to the formation of the Sinister Six with Norman Osborn buying the Avengers Tower. Now, I don't believe what he says because it makes no sense to me, because I've been told by multiple sources. Then we see in all the trailers the Avengers Tower was damaged during Infinity War and EndGame. Then we see it's fully repaired in one of the final Spider-Man Far From Home trailers. And then you only see it for like a split nanosecond in the movie. Now, this just does not add up. And then we had the massive leak from, I guess you could say, a YouTuber who's got a lot of leeway, and literally said that Norman Osborn, aka Green Goblin, will be in the MCU within 1 month. So there was supposed to be a mid-credit scene, and it was supposed to be a defeated, sad-looking Mysterio who looks out of the window from a skyscraper at nighttime, and the view is a shot within the building looking outwards, so you can't actually see the building itself. A voice is heard in the background, which sounds Russian, which says something like, "He beat us once, but soon he's going to pay." Mysterio turns around. The voice is revealed to be none other than Chameleon in his costume. Mysterio then says, "Dimitri, thanks for having our back out there." Chameleon replies, "Don't worry, there are more of us." Right. Then the music gets darker while Vulture appears. Similar costume, minor modifications. Scorpion, outfit similar to the comics. Few differences. Shocker, same thing, similar to Homecoming outfit, which is interesting. So we know members of the Sinister Six are already inside the MCU, so they're already formed. And a businessman in a business suit walks into another room. The businessman gathers the villains together and says, "I have a proposal for you." The camera pans out to the outside of the building, which is the old Stark Avengers Tower, which now has the Oscorp logo in a green font, the same spot where the Stark logo was. It shows it for a few seconds. The scene ends here. It was about a 45-second long clip. Now, I've been over this a few times, guys, but I cannot wrap my head around how I've been told by multiple sources this was meant to be in the movie, yet no one is talking about this. The Avengers Tower should have been revealed in this movie. Then you have the director, Jon Watts, saying that the Sinister Six were never supposed to be in the movie, and I just cannot believe that, because the Avengers Tower should have been repaired, should have had a new owner, because obviously due to EndGame and the destruction on the whole world, there should have at least been the Avengers Tower reveal of who bought it. So I do not believe the story that Jon Watts is saying they didn't really speak about the Sinister Six, seeing as we already have multiple characters from the Sinister Six inside the MCU. It was formed inside Homecoming. Yes, Homecoming is nowhere near as good as Far From Home, but that's not really the story. So Scorpion's already inside the MCU, Vulture is already inside the MCU, and so is Shocker, and Nick Fury's helper, I guess you could say, it was rumored to be Chameleon because Dimitri had the same name as Chameleon in the comics. So literally, a lot of these people were already formed in this movie without you knowing indirectly that they were supposed to be in it. So there is rumors that obviously like the actor who played all these Sinister Six characters filmed a scene. And a lot of people were saying, no, this was a fake rumor and squashing it. But I want to talk about what is the actual reason why this was pulled. Was it because it leaked so early to the point where every single person knew it was going to happen? But I don't really think that'd be the point to pull it. Or is it something to do with the future of the Spider-Man franchise with the MCU deal coming to end? It is very strange how everyone, including me and insiders, were anticipating a Sinister Six Norman Osborn kind of tease, and we've all wanted it. But for some reason, it never came true, which is very, very odd. Seeing as literally we had people tweeting that Norman Osborn will be in the MCU in the next 5 years. Also, we did hear that Captain Britain maybe have made an appearance in this, and John Watts ultimately said this: we talked about ways if we could have come up with a clever way of incorporating Captain Britain. I think we would have. There was never really anything that stood out that didn't seem like a shorthanded in reference. So that is pretty interesting. So obviously we have Spider-Man 3 coming in the future. We do know that Tom Holland has only one movie left on the deal, as back in 2016 it was revealed that Holland signed a contract for 6 MCU movies when he originally joined the franchise. Spider-Man Far From Home marks his 5th movie after Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, and Endgame. As such, there is still one more movie left on Holland's contract, which is likely to be filled within Spider-Man 3. Plus, previously, Holland confirmed the Spider-Man trilogy in the MCU with no other Avengers movie being slated, so we're at least going to get another movie with him. So as I said, Norman Osborn Green Goblin was teased. Everyone knew he was coming. We haven't physically seen him, but there have been rumors for the biggest time that they've been building the Sinister Six, especially considering as we've got the Vulture, we've got Shocker, and we've got Scorpion, who already exist inside the MCU. Plus, Donald Glover, Aaron Davis could become Prowler, essentially. So we are expecting this movie to come out, Spider-Man 3, in 2021, because there is a 2-year jump in between Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, essentially. Obviously, the way that Spider-Man Far From Home ends, it's most likely that Spider-Man's identity will come out well, it did come out in the post-credit scene. It's just a case of if they will actually allow Spider-Man's identity to be out there. So Spider-Man 3, you can see the Battle of New York memorial statue on the top of the Grand Central Station as Spider-Man swings by, and that is in line with the Avengers Tower that should have been dubbed the Oscorp Tower, and it would have teased everything. Maybe this is something to do with the Sony MCU new deal needing to come through, because if they are going to bring the Green Goblin and the Sinister Six through, or the Dark Avengers, it needs to be for the next 5 years and not just for Spider-Man 3. So maybe it's something to do with that deal. As we've previously said, I don't really think they're going to reveal the new Spider-Man deal at San Diego Comic-Con because Sony is not there in any capacity. So no Morbius trailer, no Into Spider-Verse 2 news, etc. So it will be interesting to see how they go forward next. Personally, I really still believe that Sinister Six is inside the MCU, and the leak was 100% true, but for some reason it got leaked. The thing that makes me know this is quantifiable true, I was told that at the UK press junket for Spider-Man Far From Home that Kevin Feige would say no comment. So allegedly he was asked about the Norman Osborn scene, the Avengers Tower, and Kevin Feige said no comment. Now, why would he say no comment if it was just a rumor or if it's untrue? If there was no validity to it, he would say no, that never happened. That's a straight out lie. But the fact that he wasn't answering questions about the Sinister Six tease lets me believe that it is real. And I spoke to a bunch of insiders who have been right about a lot of things, and literally it is true. It's just a case of when will they reveal, obviously, the Sinister Six Norman Osborn tease. Is it going to be something they reveal at San Diego Comic-Con? Because technically, yes, they could do the Spider-Man 3 kind of reveal there, with this being the trailer for Spider-Man 3, in theory, if that's something they want to go down. We do know that Peter Parker's checklist that was cut from the Spider-Man movie will be on the Blu-ray. Obviously, there's always extended scenes on the Blu-ray. 2 hours, 9 minutes is pretty short for an MCU movie, so it was a short movie, and there will be deleted scenes and lots of added stuff in there. I'd love to see who actually gave Spider-Man his passport, because I had a theory, but I obviously can't say if it's confirmed or like not confirmed because we don't know who gave him it. So the guys, let me know down below. Do you think the Sinister Six are still coming to the MCU? There is so much evidence pushing in the fact that the Sinister Six are coming to the MCU. Spider-Man 3 is going to be amazing. Now the movie's been out for a few days. I've been seeing a lot of hate towards Spider-Man Far From Home, saying it's not even better than Homecoming. Personally, guys, I didn't really like Homecoming. I really didn't like it that much, but I think this movie is much better. But there's been a lot of hate train on Twitter. I try not to post on Twitter very often, but there's people that are hating on the movie before you go to see a movie. If you're going to hate on a movie, guys, before you go watch the movie, that will really make the movie not worth watching, because you're going into a movie with the mentality that you're going to hate it, so you will hate it. So, guys, if you don't like the movie, you don't have to really hate on it. Personally, for me, it has a better story than Avengers 3 and 4 put together, because I wasn't really fond of the story, except for the visually stunning effects and the battles being amazing. The story was pretty weak in EndGame. I've spoke to a bunch of people who agree with me. Whether they would actually agree with me like in a YouTube video is a different story, but behind the scenes, I've spoke to a bunch of people who agreed that EndGame wasn't really the best storytelling movie. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know down below. Do you think the Sinister Six rumor is true, even though Kevin Feige wasn't answering questions at the press junket for Spider-Man Far From Home about this? It literally confirms that it was meant to happen. So like always, guys, please like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch you in another video very soon. Catch you later.